Hey guys, I'm the Burke and I do things. So this video is actually inspired by a video I recently watched on Kelly Gooch's channel where she talked about a couple of her most reliable makeup products based on what she packed with her when she went to New York for Ipsy Live. And I thought it would be really interesting to tell you guys about the makeup I chose to wear that day and why I chose to wear it. So I made sure to put it all on my face right now. So this is basically what I looked like the day of Creator Day. The only thing was I was self-tanned that day and I'm not self-tanned now, so I do have a lighter shade of the foundation on. One of the big reasons I did self-tan honestly was because when I am pale, it is a lot harder for me to have a foundation match that matches than when I'm tan. So honestly, it was a lot of that where I went to an event where everyone is really good at makeup. I didn't want this to not match this. So even now I'm wearing some of my lightest foundations and it's still a little darker than my natural skin tone. So if you guys are interested in all of the makeup that I wore to Creator Day and why I chose what I chose, then keep on watching. Let's go. Okay, so let's start with primer. I actually meant to use a hydrating primer that morning, but I think I was so flustered that I didn't even remember, but I mean, it was fine since I had already moisturized. So I did wind up using a more pore-filling primer because I didn't want anything slipping and sliding all day. I'm actually almost completely out of this. This is the Tarte Clean Slate Timeless Primer. I have this little mini of it, but like, there's like nothing left. Like I put it on today and it was like, I had to scrape it out of the bottom. But I really like this primer. Like if I did choose between Tatcha and this one, I would always pick this one because I think this one is very good at what it does. Okay, so for foundation, I do have the combination mixed together. So I mixed the L'Oreal Fresh Wear with the L'Oreal Pro Glow. So the way I like to use these, on my sponge, I use 2 pumps of the Fresh Wear and then I put a little squirt of the Pro Glow on to help a little bit with how mattifying it can be, just to add a little bit of hydration and luminosity to the actual foundation. But this foundation is so long wearing, and I will say that in all the photos of me taken that night, I had no issues with flashback, which obviously can be something that's a little scary. Like I knew there was gonna be photos taken all night and I didn't know how that was gonna work, but I had no issues with flashback with all these products. So this was the combination and it lasted all day. Then for concealer, what I like to do lately is I like to take more of a full coverage concealer and add a little bit of a hydrating concealer with it, just so I get the coverage, but it also doesn't completely get all crackly, and you know what I'm saying. So I went in with the Catrice Liquid Camouflage Concealer with a tiny bit of the First Aid Beauty Bendy Avocado Concealer. This one is almost completely empty and out of product. Like I am just scraping along the edges of it, but this combination works really well for me. Then for powder, as far as an under eye setting powder goes, I have tons that are good. I don't really have an issue with any of the ones as far as flashback goes. So when it came to me, I wanted to pick something that I had in like a small travel size. So I did go with the CoverFX Perfect Setting Powder. Honestly, this, the Laura Mercier, I also have in a travel size. Anything kind of, in my mind, I was thinking that I could put in something tiny like this was basically what I was thinking. And then to set the rest of my face, just to make sure we had all the coverage, I did also use the J-Cat Aquashorns powder and I just set the perimeter of my face. I do have this in multiple colors. I used my darker color that day. Today I used my lighter color. This is a powder foundation and I am a fan. Then for brows, I used my 2 favorite brow products. I used the LA Girl Shady Slim Brow Pencil and the Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Brow Gel. These are like my perfect combination right here. I wasn't really sure what I wanted to wear as far as eyeliner goes because I knew I was not gonna do any kind of liquid wings or any of that stuff, like definitely not. But I also wanted to use something in my waterline, but I was very nervous about something that was gonna smudge, something that was gonna just disappear. So I went with a safe option. I went with my Makeup Geek eyeliner, and this is a brown eyeliner. And I thought that brown would be a good option because it wouldn't like be like too intense, but it also was a nice long wearing eyeliner, and I was happy I made this choice. Okay, let's talk eyes. So I did prime my eyes with the MAC Paint Pot. So I wanted to go above and beyond to make sure like that my eyeshadow was going to last the entire day. I did not want it going anywhere. So I took a lot of precautions. So I started with the paint pot, and I used a mixture of 2 eyeshadow palettes. So I did use a lot from the Natasha Denona mini nude palette. I actually recently dropped this, and like all the shimmer shades kind of like cracked a little, so I have to be very careful with this. But I'm pretty sure I did use these 3 shades within the palette. And then I also used the Huda Beauty Smoky Obsessions. To me, these palettes pair really well together, and especially from this palette, I did use both of the darker browns, and I went in a little bit with the shimmer up here and also used the lighter matte. Honestly, these 2 together worked really well. And also, before I put down any of these shimmer shades, just because I needed to know it was gonna last all day, I did go in with a little bit of the NYX glitter primer because we did not want anything disappearing that day. For mascara, I kind of had the same feelings. I didn't want anything going anywhere. I wanted everything staying in place, so I wanted to go waterproof because I didn't know if there were going to be tears. I didn't know if there was going to be rain. I didn't know if there was going to be anything. We just didn't know. So I did use the Essence Lash Princess, the waterproof one, and the lashes stayed all day. So for bronzer, it was hard. You know, sometimes for me, picking the right bronzer can be hard. I wound up going and choosing the BH Cosmetics Brilliance Bronzer. It's one of my all-time favorite bronzers. I was happy with this choice I made. For blush, I wanted to pick something that I knew would be long wearing because sometimes blushes can kind of wear off. So I wound up going with my mini blush bouquet duo. This is the Rose Gold duo. And I used this shade here called Marigold because I wanted something vibrant that even if it did start to fade a little, it would still have the pigmentation. And this I felt like was the perfect color for that. And then the highlighter that I literally cannot stop wearing. Like, emphasize me, I cannot stop wearing this. I have been wearing it nonstop. It is this, the Glam Glow Glow Powder. I cannot stop mixing these 2 shades together. This formula has hyaluronic acid in it, and something about it makes the powder like melt into your skin, so it doesn't look like a highlighter sitting on top of your makeup. It like melts into your makeup. I don't know, it's amazing, it's magical. I can't believe it's discontinued. I did get this at, I want to say Marshall's, but I've seen them at TJ Maxx as well. I've just been absolutely wowed by this. I didn't want, like, for me, I just didn't want to look like crazy, and like I stood out. I just wanted to look like simple and put together. I know I'm not a makeup artist. I just didn't want to look crazy and have like a bad highlighter day, and I knew that I would have a good highlighter day if I used this. To set everything in place for the day, I did use the Urban Decay All Nighter. While I didn't pack this in my travel bag, since I do only have this in the big size, I did, before I left for the event, gave my face a full spray of this, and definitely stayed in place. And before we get into lip, I didn't touch up my makeup one time the entire day, so I didn't have to powder, I didn't have to reapply anything. The only thing I brought with me in my purse for reapplication was my lip product, and I decided, because it had been getting colder and my lips had starting to get a little dry, I decided to not go liquid lipstick, even though I knew that would have lasted longer. I decided I'm gonna go with a gloss. Even though I have to reapply a gloss, you don't really necessarily need a mirror to reapply a gloss. So I felt safe with this option, and I love this so much. So it pains me how much I love this because I think the full size of this is like $30. So I got this free sample of the Hourglass Volumizing Lip Gloss in the shade Sublime, and it's the loveliest formula ever. It doesn't even feel like a gloss. I would say it feels more like a lip balm. It's just so unbelievably comfortable. I cannot believe how comfortable it is. And even though it's like called volumizing, I don't think it has that like plumping tingly thing going for it. It just feels like a very nice lip balm. I'm offended by the price of it. But yeah, I mean, that was all the makeup that I wore to Ipsy Creator Day, and it was able to last all day, and I wanted to be able to talk to you guys about it and why I chose what I chose and all that stuff. Let me know in the comments what some of your most reliable makeup products are down there. And as usual, thanks for stopping by my channel. If you're new here, click the subscribe button and ring that bell for notifications. I have my Twitter and my Instagram down below. Give them a follow, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.